The deer, startled, fled into the safety of the forest, its hoofs clattering against twigs and leaves as it darted away. The moment the deer had disappeared, Zalain materialized in the doorway of Kihija, his tall, feline-like figure silhouetted against the twilight sky. "Come inside," he commanded, his voice a low, measured rumble. "I'll brew some tea." Zalain held the door open, his stance relaxed yet exuding authority. Orion and Lily exchanged another tense look, unsure if they should trust Zalaion's invitation. However, the sense of danger still lingering in the air compelled them to step closer. And they followed him inside. Kihija, owned by Orion, was a tranquil retreat, a haven for beings and a meeting place. It sat on the opposite side of the lake from the castle, occupying a vast expanse of several hundred acres. The property boasted its own roads and amenities, creating a secluded and self-sufficient space. Zalain, known for his usual composure, appeared to struggle a bit as he rummaged through cabinets, searching for tea. This uncharacteristic action added a touch of unexpected normalcy to the scene, humanizing him somewhat. Zalain paused his tea-making efforts and turned to address them, his tone serious yet tinged with a hint of urgency. "All right," he began. "Let's make this as concise as possible. Candace is in a brand new, ancient world, a different dimension. To be precise," he continued, "the people who brought her there used a slow, cumbersome technology, but the three of you have the ability to travel there and back without the equipment. You just need to work together." Zalain looked at them with a stoic expression, his eyes holding a mix of concern and understanding. "The group who brought Candace there might seem a bit barbaric in their methods," he mused. "But I suppose they grasp something crucial. If you three concentrate on one another, in a very specific way, a portal will open." Zalain continued. "You can establish a thought trail anywhere between here and the gap, creating a sort of threshold. This will enable travel between our world and the dimension where Candace is located." Zalaion's gaze focused on them intently. "But remember, it's the connection between the three of you that's key. Focus on each other and yourself. It's the synchronization of your thoughts and energies that will allow this portal to open and bridge the gap between worlds." He paused momentarily, letting the weight of his words sink in before adding, "It won't be easy, and the success depends on your unified concentration. But it is possible. Trust in your connection and your abilities, and you can bring Candace back." Orion and Lily exchanged a glance, both of them visibly anxious but determined. The task at hand seemed immense, but the thought of rescuing Candace and reuniting their throuple was a powerful catalyst. They nodded their understanding and resolve, ready to undertake this challenge together. Zalain smiled faintly, acknowledging their heightened concern and focus. "That right there," he pointed out, "the level of mental activity you just demonstrated. It's the essence of it. When all three of you worry about each other in this intense way, it's enough to open a portal." He paused, his expression becoming more serious. "My people have set up a temporary trail near the gap that you can use to bring Candace back," he added, "and we'll need to sort out the issue with the animals that are slipping through. The wolf and birds will have to be returned once you've got the system working." Zalaion's smile became slightly warmer, adding a touch of reassurance in the tense atmosphere. "Just be cautious," he warned. "The portal can bring Candace back, but it's crucial that you maintain control of it. Once you bring her back, close the portal immediately. We don't want any more unwanted guests slipping through." Orion and Lily absorbed the instructions, their faces a mix of determination and anxiety. They exchanged a brief glance, silently conveying their understanding and resolve. The burden of responsibility was heavy, but their love for Candace and their resolve to bring her home outweighed all other considerations. Orion was the first to break the silence. Determination etched across his face. "We won't let anything go wrong," he said firmly, his voice filled with determination. "We'll bring her back and make sure the portal closes." Orion and Lily, driving towards the gap, engaged in conversation about the strange animals they had been encountering. Lily mentioned, "You know, I've been thinking, if these animals are coming through a portal that opened when the three of us were really worried about each other, how did Candace know you were injured?" Quote, Orion nodded, considering her question. "That's a good point," he responded. "Since she's in another dimension, she shouldn't have any idea what's going on here. Unless..." His voice trailed off as a strange thought crossed his mind. Lily arched an eyebrow, waiting for him to finish his sentence. "Unless what?" she prompted, her curiosity piqued. Orion's expression turned pensive as a hypothesis formed in his mind. "Unless she can sense what's happening here," he said slowly. "Maybe her connection to us is strong enough that she can somehow sense our emotions and experiences, even from a different dimension." Lily's eyes widened in surprise, the possibility sinking in. "So you're thinking that she sensed our worry and that's how she knew you were injured?" she asked, a mix of hope and uncertainty in her voice. "It's just a theory," Orion admitted. "But it makes sense. Our connection as a throuple is strong enough to open a portal. It might be strong enough to transmit emotions across dimensions as well." Lily nodded slowly, absorbing the implications of his words. The idea that their emotional connection could extend across dimensions was both fascinating and slightly unnerving. She glanced at Orion, a mix of worry and determination in her eyes. "If that's the case, we need to be even more careful with our emotions during the rescue attempt." Orion squeezed her hand, offering a comforting smile. "We'll be careful," he reassured her. "We know what's at stake. And we'll do everything we can to get Candace back safely." Orion and Lily arrived at the gap, where they were met by Zaleon's people. As they approached, the pair noticed a strange and awe-inspiring sight. 3 towering tetrahedrons, like a strange stage ready for a performance. Each tetrahedron had colorful lights and a backdrop made of tanned hide connecting them at their bases. Centered in each tetrahedron was a pedestal, bearing a plaque with a name: Orion's, Lily's, and Candace's. The tetrahedrons stood tall and imposing, the lights casting a surreal glow across the area. Zaleon's people were positioned around them, guiding Orion and Lily toward the imposing structures. The atmosphere was heavy with anticipation and unease. What was the purpose of these tetrahedrons? And what role would they play in rescuing Candace? As they neared the tetrahedrons, Zaleon's people explained the function of the structures. "These tetrahedrons serve as stabilizing points for the portal," Zaleon's representative said. "Your mental and emotional focus is crucial in opening and stabilizing it. Each of you must stand on the corresponding pedestal and focus intently on Candace and your desire to bring her back." Orion and Lily exchanged a look, their hearts beating faster with both anxiety and anticipation. The tetrahedrons loomed over them, a tangible representation of the power of their thoughts and emotions. Taking a deep breath, they approached their respective pedestals, preparing to take their positions and focus on their shared goal. Climbing the short flight of stairs, Orion and Lily stood on their individual pedestals, each facing the backdrops adorned with tanned hides. Orion's eyes flickered in determination, the weight of the moment settling heavily on his shoulders. He mentally prepared himself, his mind hyper-focused on Candace. As Orion stood on his pedestal, his eyes fixed on the tanned hide backdrop before him, an image began to form. It was an image of the future, of the three of them together, now old and gray. In the projected vision, Orion, Lily, and Candace embraced one another, their faces lined with age but filled with joy and tears of happiness. The image was a poignant reminder of the love they shared, and the unbreakable bond that connected them even across dimensions. It also served as a potent catalyst for Orion's mental focus, intensifying his determination to reunite with Candace and make that vision become their reality. Orion's eyes narrowed as he concentrated his thoughts. Using the image as a focal point, he could almost feel the touch of Candace's slender fingers, hear her laughter mingle with Lily's, taste the sweetness of their intertwined lives. He clenched his fists, determination surging through him. This image, this dream, was not just a possibility. It was a future they would make happen. With every ounce of his being, Orion channeled his energy towards the image, investing every thought and emotion into his connection with Candace. A low, almost imperceptible hum filled the air, growing stronger with each passing moment. It was the first indication that something was happening, an energy building in response to Orion's intense focus. The tetrahedrons vibrated slightly, as if responding to the power of Orion's thoughts and emotions. Zalin and his people exchanged knowing glances, their eyes on Orion standing tall and focused on his pedestal. They recognized the hum, the sign that the portal was beginning to take shape beneath Orion's mental and emotional strength. Meanwhile, Lily was also standing on her pedestal, her gaze intense and unwavering. She had seen the image of their future, and the sight of Candace's smiling face tugged at her heartstrings. Her thoughts and emotions mirrored Orion's determination, their combined mental energy acting as fuel for the growing portal. As Zaleon's people looked on, the hum grew louder and stronger, a palpable sense of energy building within the tetrahedrons. There was no denying it now. The portal was stabilizing, thanks to the emotional connection and mental focus of Orion and Lily. The image of the three of them in their old age shimmered and flickered, the reality it represented drawing closer with each passing moment. Lily and Orion's emotions intensified, their focus and hope unwavering as the portal took form, a gateway between dimensions ready to bring Candace back. The hum reached a climax, the air thick with energy. The tetrahedrons quivered, the portal now fully formed and ready to be used. Orion and Lily stood resolute on their pedestals, their love and determination fueling the portal that would reunite them with Candace. As the hum of energy reached its peak, the third tetrahedron was enveloped in a blinding white light. Within the heart of the light, the silhouette of a figure took shape, slowly transforming into a familiar form. Candace. Candace's figure materialized within the light-filled tetrahedron, her slender body slowly becoming more defined and real. Orion and Lily's breaths caught in their throats, their eyes widening at the sight of their beloved partner. Candace stood within the third tetrahedron, her gaze fixed on the projected image of the three of them together in their old age, tears streaming down her cheeks. Suddenly, the portal closed, and she collapsed to the floor, her body drenched in sweat and exhaustion. Zaleon's people swiftly moved toward her, wrapping her in blankets and offering her a drink to soothe her weary body. Before Candace could fully process the situation, Orion flashed into existence beside her, instantly teleporting Lily from her pedestal to Candace's side.